UFC president Dana White, and we're always looking for up-and-coming talent to sign. Back in the day, I used to scout the world looking for new talent, but I haven't done that in years. I'm looking for the next Ronda Rousey, the next Robbie Lawler, the next Conor McGregor. I'm looking for future champions, and I'm willing to go to any show, anywhere in the world to find them. Super excited about the talent on tonight's card. A lot of tough fighters. Let's see who really wants their shot at the UFC. Oh! I love guys that have that enthusiasm and excitement and want to be in the UFC so bad.
Coming up next, it's a UFC light heavyweight division collision. All right, so here he is making his way to the octagon for his UFC debut. Of course, he was discovered on Dana White looking for a fight, and man, did he shine that night. As such, here he is making that aforementioned UFC debut. The question is, will there be jitters? More often than not, you do see newcomers experience some of those nerves during fight week, but especially on fight night. He's not wide-eyed right now, but if there's an adrenaline dump early, that could be an advantage for his opponent. Nonetheless, good to see him making the walk tonight.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his UFC debut here tonight. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 190 pounds. Fighting out of New York, Young.
All right, here we go with round one. This is a moment every fighter dreams of, to cross into the big show and make the... Oh! Williams. Oh! He's out!
He's out cold. Beautiful knockout here early in the first.
Yeah, Joe, near perfect technique to land that seminal blow to finish the fight here in round one. And that's exactly the way a fighter draws it up. You don't absorb...
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Roman's chilling, and welcome back to the Chilling Zone. And as you can see, we are jumping back into UFC 3 career mode, trying to be the GOAT with Moose Young. Jumped into our sparring, got our peak fitness up, and as you see, we cannot get taken to the ground against our next opponent, because they have some of the best ground and pound that has ever been seen inside the octagon. So we're still training at FRC. We go ahead and get our ground and pound level 1 perk, as well as our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu transitions, 98% of peakness. And we will be taking on a guy that we actually fought already in the WFA. He was our second fight, Alexei Utkin, as Moose makes his way down to the octagon. Everybody is, speaking his praises in regards to his UFC debut. Of course, you see he is currently undefeated, 3-0 in the WFA. 1-0 inside the UFC. He's won all 4 of the fights by knockout. Gonna go ahead and do his usual walk to the ring. Obviously, you've only seen it the one time from his original, from his debut UFC fight. There were no walk-ins or entrances, I should say, for the 3 WFA fights. And of course, you see from Omsk, Russia, we have Alexei Utkin coming down to the ring now. Everybody's talking about how good of a grappler he is. And I don't know, man. If you guys saw the first video, you see he's won 9 of his last 11 fights. And he's lost only the 2 fights in his career. And one of those fights, he lost to me. I think you guys remember that fight. I mean, if you don't, that's okay, because I'll be sure to remind you at some point. But look, how are you gonna walk? You're not Conor McGregor, man. This is not Diaz McGregor 2. This is Utkin Moose 2. So you see the UFA teletape, and now we take a look at the UFC teletape, and it's the same. So you know, we're fighting each other, you know, pretty much, because he was my second fight, and now he is going to be my actual 5th fight. So we're still in the same calendar year, as you can tell from our ages. And yeah, man, Bruce Buffer's gonna go ahead and introduce us. We're in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center, aka The Rock. You see there, 5'8", 190 pounds, representing Brooklyn, New York at Moose MMA. I really can't believe this guy walked past me and he was walking like Conor McGregor. 9'2", 6'3", 205 pounds. And there it is, the reminder of what we did. Now, I'm not sure if I was his first loss or his second loss. I'm guessing within that window. I'm banking on me being his second loss. Because I can't see me fighting him if I was his first loss and then he lost to somebody else right after. So after he lost to me, and I don't know what his record was going into the fight with me, because the WFA, they don't do introductions, you don't see the records, you just kind of go right into it. You see the record when you select the fight. So I probably could have went back and researched that to see what his record was when I selected the fight. Maybe I should have done that, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. I guess I could technically go and check that. Let's see if I have the speed and wherewithal to do this real quick. Don't mind me. I am just being I'm just multitasking right now as you guys enjoy the fight right here for a sec, and the fight is over. Yeah, so that happened, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get this finalized. He was 9-1 when he faced me, so we defeated him. He took some time off. He trained. He got the call for the UFC. He must have felt that I didn't belong in the UFC. So Dana White said, you know what, I'm gonna give you a shot. But this guy shows up in the UFC. He impersonates Conor McGregor. And you know what? He got a cage side seat with that knockout. So, you know, hopefully in the future, he will have to pay for a cage side seat. You know what? I might even pay to get him a cage side seat at my next fight. But let me go ahead and get this moolah. Let me get this money. Go ahead and pay me. Let's go ahead and take these promotional photos. Look at that. Look at that. I'm ready to go to the after party already. Yo, Newark, New Jersey. Where the party at? My old stomping grounds. Might have to go down, hang out with the guys out at Rutgers, and see what's going on. Got 4 knockdowns in that first round. Like that's just insane. So let's see what they're gonna give us. So they don't give us performance of the night. So that kind of stings a little bit. I don't think we lost any longevity. We're sitting at 98.2%, and we are looking at, as something is actually in my way right now, and I'm kind of hoping that it did not interrupt my recording. The Windows 10 update, that was the issue with yesterday's video, because I actually scheduled the update and I was uploading the video at the same time and forgot I scheduled the update. So of course I believe the computer must have restarted, So yeah, so that's why I'm actually recording the video today. But initially I was only gonna have the one fight, and I had some other stuff inside the video, but I reworked the video and I said, you know what, let me get both fights inside this video. So now we have going up against Hampton, and we did have an opportunity to go up against the guy that we defeated, Saul Levine. We had an opportunity to choose him to fight, but after defeating Utkin the way we demolished Alexei Utkin, I didn't want to give somebody else a rematch. So I kind of feel like if Saul Levine is gonna have to show me something in order for him to get another rematch with me. I might give other rematches down the line, but I just didn't feel like fighting two rematches. Like the guy that was my second fight, as we see Frederick Hampton come down to the ring, to the octagon, excuse me. I'm so used to saying ring between wrestling and boxing. This is usually around the time that I rev up my UFC viewing, and then it just depends on how it goes. It might tail off if I'm not playing the game anymore, but for the most part I got a decent run out of the first UFC, and I got a decent run out of UFC 2. So, and even some of the ones prior to it, like the UFC Undisputed games. But I definitely was looking forward to, because like seeing the updates that they made to UFC 2, they kind of gave me a general idea of what UFC 3 could look like. Now they did do a patch. I believe they added some fighters, and there's some other things in regards to the gameplay. You know, like with any other game, in particular sports games, I'm pretty sure first-person shooters and other games probably have something similar to where they kind of adjust things along the way, based off of feedback from like the guys that they trust the most or that they know the most, like Game Changers, or you know, other people like content creators and things like that. So you see here 5-0, and we're at the Air Canada Center. Views from the 6, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. You know, the same place where I want to say the Ultimate Warrior defeated Hulk Hogan, and The Rock, if I'm not mistaken, defeated Hulk Hogan. So you see, it's a battle of Brooklyn versus New York, Brooklyn versus Manhattan, Brooklyn versus NYC, NYC versus NYC, Yankees versus Dodgers. However you want to, well the Yankees are in the Bronx, so that's kind of different. So we'll say the Knicks versus the Nets, and we actually both have on the colors. Ooh, he stunned us. That was, I was not expecting that. Maybe, you know, being a little too aggressive fighting these guys. So, you know, left myself open right there. But now we're being a little more cautious, and yeah, we're just gonna back fist, spinning back fist, and we're just yeah, Hampton's pretty much done. This can't go on any longer, and he tries to go for the takedown, but we're gonna go ahead and stuff that takedown. We're gonna spin to the backside, gonna go ahead and fire off a couple of shots. He already had no, we didn't even really get him clean right there. Was no real need to like hammer fist him right there. So, you know, we're just gonna cool out. We're gonna take the victory. As Herb Dean, you know, he's calling for them people, calling for the paramedics and the doctor. He's calling for somebody, hoping that this kid gets up. But Frederick, I mean, he had to be gone before that shot, because that shot did not get it didn't, you know, it kind of, his forearm was in the way, kind of grazed him, and then up into the chin or up into the cheek, and then we're kind of looking at him like, and he's playing dead, I guess, I don't know, but he is able to stand up under his own power. I know the previous games, if you hurt somebody and hurt somebody bad enough, they wouldn't be able to make the official decision where the winner gets his hand raised. So that would be a nice little addition, a nice little tweak that UFC could do. But that's going to bring an end to the video, man. We're going to go ahead and head on up out of here. This is Rome's Chillin'. I'd like to thank you guys for chilling with me here today in the Chillin' Zone. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to comment down below. And as always, chill to the next episode. Chillin' out. Moose.